this season. I don't like this song at all, Valdez.
Yeah, not really enjoying this one.
Does not bring me happiness. I hate trumpets, man. 4-2 versus KeeN in unofficial games. Something to remember.
Just something to keep in mind. You know, sometimes we see crazy stats there. It's like, oh, this guy is 4-0 against this other guy. I think it was Gumiho versus some Terran that he wrecked, and he was like 4-0 against the guy. And I'm like, oh man, this is going to be a beauty of a game.
Oh, I remember that one too. I forget the other player there. Here we go. Here's KeeN. All right, they're looking back in anger. I respect it. 0-4 this season, man. 0-2 versus Protoss. Got destroyed by SOS in his last Pro League match.
Yeah. SOS was playing with him like a dog, like a cat plays with his food. He was just like sitting there, just like whacking it around. I remember the supplies at some point, it was like 180 to 120 Protoss over Terran, and it was just a gigantic map. He kept taking bases. He never killed KeeN, but he's just like, oh, I want you to try to attack me. Yeah. And he just smashed every single attack. It was disgusting. Man.
I think it's a great way to kind of get psychologically into the other team's head, you know, bring them down. Try and, if you know the game is won so early on, just play it out. So like this guy keeps trying, just keeps failing, just looks horrible. It's evil. But I imagine SOS doing that.
Yeah, man. He's a trickster. He's probably snickering to himself the entire time.
Exactly.
Well, we're going to take a look at the predictions for this match. Let's see what people decided. All 6 of us go for Hurricane once again.
Yeah, it's about right there. I'm not entirely surprised. Looking at recent stats and who these players are and where they are right now.
Yeah. I think in the next 2 matches, I think it'll be a little bit less one-sided. You know, I don't think it'll be 6-0s. But for these first 2 ones, I can definitely see the 6-0s making sense.
We'll soon find out. Map is going to be Echo. Pretty fun map, Valdez.
Yeah, going to be another 2-player map we got going here. Let's jump into the game right now. It's going to be Hurricane versus KeeN for game number 2. Up here in the top left in the blue for Samsung Galaxy Con, the Protoss player, it is Hurricane.
Down here in the bottom right, another purple Terran, it's KeeN. Wouldn't it be fun if we saw the Protoss go for the exact same build, like Proxy 1 gate?
Oh man, I would have loved it, especially because they're both 2-player maps. I was thinking about that actually during the intro.
Yeah, that'd be like so dirty. But
it's so delicious.
But it would be delicious. And it like works the same way. It's like, well, this is just wrong.
Yeah. Well, it's a little bit closer for this matchup, 55-45 for the fan vote.
Okay, well, that's interesting. That's good to see. Yeah, a lot of fans for KeeN still. He was a Terran that hanged around in GSL for the longest of time.
Yeah.
But I feel like I don't know, Hurricane just looking a little bit stronger there. Oh.
So there's 2 of them. They were talking about one of the Korean casters, actually.
Oh, really?
Not sure what it said exactly. I was distracted by the fact that there were 2 of them now instead of 1.
Yeah, well, the other one was wearing like a Samsung shirt as well. Yeah. So maybe she like dragged her from the audience or something. Like, come on, let's do it cheerful for Samsung.
That other girl was so embarrassed. She would not show her face. Well, so far here in this game, it looks like both players are just going to be playing straight up. No shenanigans this time around in Glade.
Unfortunately, Valdez, you know, I'm always a fan of the shenanigans. Love that word more than anything. Just want to be able to say it every chance I get.
Well, especially against Prime, you get this kind of, I don't know, it's not a good feeling, but it's not a bad feeling either, you know what I mean? It's like this team is not doing well at all, and they just get smashed like over and over and over again. It's kind of like watching an action movie where the bad guys get beat up, but the bad guys are Prime for some reason. Like, they're actually the youngest team.
It's really mean, Valdez. I do find it
some kind of sick satisfaction.
Yeah, there is a lot of entertainment to like the weaker players getting cheesed out and stuff. It's like, oh, what are they going to do to them this time around? Like, it's so mean. Yeah. And they can do it too because you know, these young players just fall apart at the sign of like early aggression. And
well, I feel like I get that kind of feeling, especially against like the top teams like Jin Air or maybe SK Telecom, where they just don't hold back. They play their best game and they just wreck these guys.
Oh yeah, and it looked like KeeN was going for this engineering blade block, and he was going to try and do it outside of the probe's vision, but the probe just saw it at the right time. So the Zealot comes down, deals with it. There's no way this SUV is going to increase it for much longer.
Well, he's being a bit annoying with this SUV, sticking around for pretty long, trying to get the most value out of this engineering bay as possible.
I guess it's doing some pretty good work here. Oh man, I was so nervous he wasn't going to cancel it then.
Well, the Reaper's going to get into the main.
He went for it again, actually, before the SUV died. It's just trying to make another one.
This cheeky bugger.
Cheeky bugger. Slanger.
Yeah, that was the word
from
Mad Max. I just watched that movie actually today.
Yeah, fantastic movie.
Yeah, really awesome.
Some people don't like it.
That's like an action movie done right to me, Moonglade.
Yeah.
You know, all these superhero movies like Captain America #15, like I'm just not really as interested in that kind of thing compared to, you know, just like a straight up really awesome action movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely seen people from both sides either really enjoy it or really hate it, but I think you got to appreciate it for what it is more than anything else. This is just a straight up raw action movie, and there's not a plot to it really. It's just entertaining as hell, which is why there's a guy with a guitar on a truck with giant speakers.
That was my favorite part, man.
I think it's like most people's favorite part. It was just so out there. A lot of fun. Highly recommend. If you haven't seen it, go watch it.
Yeah.
It looks exactly like Australia.
Is that where you're from, Moonglade?
That's where I live.
Do they have those giant storms too?
Yeah, man. Sometimes it's pretty brutal in summer, but
it's kind of scary.
We get through it. We have big trucks that can don't fly away and stuff.
That's good.
And we call everyone slangers over there as well.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
you were telling me all about that.
Yeah, it is my favorite word.
So we're gonna have a Twilight Council being put down here. No commitment to Blink just yet.
Oh, gets it. Nice.
That scan actually sees both, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it does. Well, it sees absolutely everything. Nice. So that was a money scan right there. Sees the river and that Twilight. I have a good feeling that Blink is on the way. So he's in a pretty good place right now.
Yeah. KeeN right now at the same time just playing very, very safe. He went for Reaper into 3 racks. You know, usually we see that 3 racks only after CC first, stuff like that, to get a very high infantry count very early, just so you're safe against, you know, big Blink builds and very aggressive plays from the Protoss, but this is just next level safe.
Yeah, this is definitely that level, and I respect it. I appreciate it. We're seeing from both players, it's a very straight up game.
We got that engineering bay on the way as well. I think he's going to be committing to some upgrades here in just a second. He's got a huge infantry force actually at this moment in time. Yeah, he actually put on a bit of pressure now because he does have so many units.
Yeah, it looks like he will be going for a stim timing, and it's going to be up to Deer to identify this. He can't lose anything really, but just gets him. Concussive shells upgraded in time.
He actually moved down. He hit those stalkers right as concussive shells finished.
Oh, and a big supply block for Deer. This is scary. Sorry, not Deer. Hurricane. And, well, what he has so far, it's 2 sentries and a stalker. Warp Gate and Gateway's only just finishing up now. And more than only half done. This is an opportunity for KeeN.
Ooh, really good scout on the Observer, too, just to limit that vision here on the army of KeeN. Looks like he won't commit, though. No, just apply a little bit of pressure. Maybe force out a couple of warpins he didn't want to make. Maybe force out an Immortal he didn't want to make either. Yeah. And look at this. The old... Oh, he went for that stimmer. Not going to find it there. And he will not have another chance with that army. Yeah. Good reaction time there from Hurricane as well. He was staring at that ramp waiting for KeeN to go for something like that. Yeah, I guess it's pretty obvious when there's a Bioforce that big that something's going to happen. And we are seeing Hurricane play that kind of double upgrade style that we always see from Hero more than anyone else. Just go for, you know, raw gateway upgrades and Colossus. Not worry about too much with the Storms in the mid game at least. Maybe in the late game he'll throw them in, but not until he's on 3 to 4 base. Yeah. My favorite style actually against Terran. I always like to see this style. I'm interested to see. We've been seeing, you know, every so often a bit of a Protoss push with 1-1 and I think like 2 Colossi with range. But we do see probes being made here from Hurricane, so maybe not going to be going for that.
Yeah, it looks like he will be coming into that third in just a little while. He scattered out the army of the Terran as well, so he knows he's got a pretty sizable bioforce, so he's got to be careful of when he commits to that Nexus. He's got his first Colossus out already.
KeeN is just so on point with taking down these observers.
That's a big, big thing as well, because he has no idea when this army's going to be coming out. If you should take that third base yet, if you should be waiting for a little longer, because a bio army.
Look at this again.
Yeah, a bio army could jump on top of this one Colossus gateway army pretty easily.
Hurricane has to be so careful with this. He's actually so confident moving into this.
Wow. One way to secure your third as well.
Just kill half the Terran army, I guess. That does it for you.
Great. The best defense is an offense, Valdez.
Just great force fields out of Hurricane that allow him to go for something like this.
Careful with the turnaround. And yeah, straight up from here. Take that third base, secure it, keep applying pressure. Let's see how much Hurricane commits to this. We do see a forward pylon is going to get DPS down in just a moment's time. Wow, giving up a medivac for it there. Oh, he's going to cancel the third CC?
Yeah, it looks like he should be able to, especially with those sentries. He can just force field off the ramp.
Oh, this is huge. KeeN just a little too greedy, putting it down at the third. Thinking he had map control, but he wasn't expecting Hurricane to be so aggressive with one Colossus.
What? Good thing he got the boots just barely in time. That medevac is so low right now on 31 HP.
Hurricane just on point with his map control right now, despite losing all his observers on the map. He's going to lose a few Stalkers for this trade, but still, stops the drops.
Yeah. And at the same time, he has that third base coming up, already halfway done. He's also got a Templar Archives, getting all of his upgrades out at the same time. Does have that charge on the way. And we see KeeN, he just has to throw down that third base in his main now. It's like you were saying, I think he should have done that from the get-go.
Yeah, he normally Terrans would as well, right? Like it's kind of weird for him to throw it down in a third like that, especially against a Protoss who can always warp in a few Zealots and try and harass. And it puts him so far behind that I feel like KeeN almost has to make a move now, or at least very soon, or he's just not going to have that late game army against someone who's up a whole base for the longest time.
He definitely has to try to find some damage. Only 2 Colossi out right now, a very early committal to Storm here from Hurricane. He does finally get that third Colossus out, but it looks like he is going to stop there. Already researching the Storm, putting down a ton more gateways as his third base gets added.
Yeah, you know what? He decided not to go for any more upgrades or really the Colossus tech, and instead just goes straight into Storm. So 1-1 with charge, and Storm is going to be his choice as the follow-up.
Not a bad idea. There was only 1 missile turret, by the way, in the whole base of KeeN, and there was a Warp Prism heading towards the main. And, of course, Dark Templar tech is already out on the map, so could have done some sick damage there if KeeN didn't find that Warp Prism.
Yeah, very fortunate there. And charge finishing up now, so getting all the tools. 2-2 on the way as well. Storm just about to finish. When those Templars get warped in, it's going to make things so much harder for KeeN to do any damage or even any drops.
Yeah. We see KeeN trying to go for a bit of a double drop towards the natural. But there's already 2 cannons there, another one being added, 2 High Templar. I think they've got enough energy for Storm even.
They do indeed, as well as that Mothership Core on full energy waiting for that photon overcharge. A big scan in on the third. It's actually going to make Hurricane a little nervous and keep his army nearby.
Looks like actually... Oh, Hurricane is so prepared for this drop in the main.
He is waiting for it all.
But actually this drop on the right side is going to bring a lot of the army over there. But at the same time, Hurricane should be able to clean this up pretty easily. It's just about the second drop, but they're not really micro too well.
No, I mean, he might get a gateway for it if he's paying attention, or he might just lose everything. Taking a lot of damage.
Hurricane is doing a fantastic job holding off all these drops and all that aggression. KeeN trying to come from 3 different angles, but it just doesn't work out.
No, when you're dropping the same base from 2 different sides, it makes it just a little bit easier for Blink Stalkers to be there. So, yeah, not the best coordination from KeeN in terms of where to drop. 2-2. nearly finished. We might see a trigger for an attack from Hurricane when that is done, because he is clearly ahead in upgrades. At least in armor. And Army and Tech, he is by far ahead.
Oh, yeah. He's got 4 Colossi right now. There's only 4 Vikings out on the map. It seems like KeeN is trying to go for that Maru style, but he's also got Storm. So
yeah,
Hurricane pretty much has every tool in the book right now to deal with what KeeN's throwing at him.
No Ghost either, by the way, so he has no real answer for these Storms.
Yep.
And there is about 4 High Templar with Storms coming towards the natural. It's going to be a hard fight when we see Hurricane engage.
Mostly Stalkers over here, but a ton. And also he's got some Storms with those High Templar. Going to put down the Photon Overcharge here and just be able to fight it straight up. Looks like those High Templars didn't have enough for Storm, but they will feed back all the medevacs. And look at that Ghost Academy placement as well. Just going to be sniped down.
Yeah, no Ghosts are going to be out of the map at all. Got to be careful where these Colossus are, though. Can engage from the side.
No mining left at the third base of KeeN. A huge Storm on all the Vikings and a huge blink forward as well. Every single Viking gets taken out.
Yeah, he really needed that. There's also force fields available for the ramp if he wants them. Oh, unless he loses all his sentries, which he does. Not paying too much attention, but he gets a natural for it, and the third is empty as well.
It seems like KeeN was able to take out the third base of Hurricane at the same time. We're not really getting a look at that. A lot of units there, actually.
A couple of drops still available.
Oh, those 6 Storms, Moonglade.
Oh, it's absolutely ridiculous. There's almost nothing left. Look at all those SCVs go down. 47 have gone down in a row. The multi-kill is unreal. And nothing much left for KeeN. He's going to try do what he can with the drop, but he's fighting against Archons and Blink Stalkers, and that's it.
Everything gets taken out. And GG. Samsung will take another win on the backs of Hurricane over KeeN.
Yeah, that was a rough one, Valdez. Another pretty one-sided match. It's all going to come down to Yoda
versus Journey.
And Journey.
You were just trying to make it sound epic, right?
I was trying to really throw it out, make everyone trying to guess for it.
Of course.
It's going to be a really great match, though, with TVT. It is going to be on Barney Research Station as well, so potential for mech there if we cross our fingers and hope enough.
Yeah, you know, we don't get to see Journey all too often. He's played, it looks like, 4 games so far in this season of Pro League. So maybe he can bring it out here. Yoda, I think he does it every so often. I think Yoda's one of those guys, kind of a jack of all trades in this TVT matchup. I think he can do both.
Yeah, absolutely. We have seen both from him. We've even seen it in other matchups. Like we've seen Mech against Zerg before. He likes to dabble in it now and then. Will it be one of those games? Possibly. Vani's fantastic for Mech. The Journey, you know, he is a great player. He's doing very well. Getting to what he's been doing recently. Both these players we see now and then. Probably you can see a lot more of Yoda actually. But Journey, he's a pretty good player, and he used to be on SKT, so you know he has potential.
For a reason. You know, they pick up those players because they have that potential, because they see something in them. And to see what he can do here against Yoda, I think we will take a bit of a break first before you get to that match, as is the way of Pro League.
It is the way. It's the only way. After 2 exciting games, we need a break, Valdez.
Exactly, Moonblade. Remember, with the 5023 number, we'll get a prize there for correctly saying that Hurricane gets the win.
Congratulations, 5023. Fantastic.
Nicely predicted. Agreed with all of the casters on that one.
Yeah.
Good job.
Great job there.
Yeah. So I think we will be taking that 3-minute break, guys. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere.